Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Got some Mavericks hoops back in action tonight, so we'll see what they can do this evening. But a big report has dropped from ESPN's Tim MacMahon. Is Luka Doncic a little unsettled? Has he put some pressure on the front office to upgrade the Mavericks roster? Kind of sounds like he has. Here's Timmy Mac on this one. Sources said Doncic, who hasn't shown a desire to be involved in personnel matters in the past, has strongly indicated that he wants the Mavs to upgrade before the February 9th trade deadline. Of course, that's easier said than done for a team that still owes the Knicks a pick to complete the Porzingis deal. MacMahon adds that the Mavs are well aware of the modern NBA math problem. Unhappy stars who have only two guaranteed years remaining on their contracts have leverage if they're looking to leave. For reference, see Anthony Davis and the New Orleans Pelicans, or James Harden and the Houston Rockets. Now, we're not that close to the end of Luka's deal, so there's some time here, but I think it's notable that this is the first public time that we have been made aware that Luka has at least made some involvement with the front office of, hey, we need to improve. We need to get a better roster here, get me some better weapons to pair with myself, and I think that's notable. And we've said it in the past that, listen, last year's Western Conference Finals run probably bought you some time, but if this isn't a team that's competing for deep playoff runs every year and has a chance to win championships, Luka's not going to be like Dirk and just be that loyal and stick around forever. He's too competitive. Not that Dirk wasn't. He was incredibly competitive. I just think Dirk was so uniquely loyal that they don't make him like that anymore. I think Luka wants to be here. I think he wants to win here, but I think he wants to win championships more than he wants to be a Dallas Maverick, if that makes sense. Like, if he has to go elsewhere to win titles, I think he would do that. This roster, it's been on your screen for 30 seconds now, it's not good enough. You're not winning a championship with it. Now, I don't know if the Mavericks can make a move that makes them a legit title contender this year. MacMahon mentions the Porzingis trade isn't even finished yet. But I do think there are ways to tweak this roster. And, hey, even the fan base is noticing it. This Luka Mural of, please send help. Hey, I don't know if Luka hired somebody to make that, but it sounds pretty good to me. And, look, I think the obvious thing here is that you're just not going to get far enough with what you currently got. It's a bummer what happened with Jalen Brunson. But you got to take ownership of that, man. You screwed that up. You had the chance to have him here, and you didn't get the job done. And I'm not even sure JB's enough to make this team a title contender, but it makes you closer. Star players need to walk a fine line of putting healthy pressure on a team's front office. I respect Luka for doing this. It's not like he's gone public and said, get better or I'm requesting a trade. I think he's probably talked to Nico, J. Kidd, and Mark Cuban and just said, listen, man, like, I need some help. My usage rate is off the charts. Like, this is not sustainable to going deep in the postseason. Like, his usage rate is higher than of James Harden's when they were having runs with the Rockets, and then he would flame out in the playoffs. Now, I think Luka's proven to be a clutch playoff performer over the last couple of years, especially last year. But, again, no one does it alone. Like, you just can't do it. I think the chemistry with Christian Wood that's been building has been good. But can a Luka-Christian Wood 1-2 punch get it done with a bunch of decent role players? I don't know. I think you need to get a better piece next to Luka Doncic. Now, do you guys want Luka to be more involved in roster decisions? I'd like to see it, because you would think if he would start recruiting and try to get players here, this would be a desirable landing spot, because playing with Luka should be fun. He sets you up for good shots. So type Y for yes and for no. Do you guys want Luka to be more involved in roster decisions? Let us know down in the comments section. Now, Rocket Money is sponsoring today's show, and in 2023, start saving money like your boy here, because, listen, Rocket Money is going to help you keep on top of your finances and your spending and your upcoming bills. Did you know that most Americans think they spend around $80 per month on subscriptions? The reality is, for most of us, it's over $200 per month. What Rocket Money will do, formerly known as Truebill, by the way, if you're familiar with Truebill, that is now Rocket Money. They will show you all of your subscriptions on one screen, help you stay on top of your upcoming bills, and if you decide you want to cancel some of those subscriptions, boom, click cancel. They will take care of the rest for you. You will no longer be getting charged for said subscription. So save money this year by using Rocket Money. Download the app today. Go to rocketmoney.com/NBA now. Check the comments, check the description. Really user-friendly app. You can set budgets on there, and you can see all the different categories of what you're spending money on each month. It's really helpful. Rocketmoney.com/NBA now. All right, could Cam Reddish be a piece that helps upgrade this roster? I'm a little lukewarm on this, but there is a report that Dallas is in the mix for Cam Reddish. We'll break down that report here in just a moment. But I'll tell you this, if the Mavericks make a trade, we're going to have you covered here on Dallas Mavericks Today. So go ahead and subscribe right now. Come on, MFFLs. We're less than 100 subs away from 21,000. Can we get there? I'm challenging, guys. I don't think we can. It's up to you to prove me wrong. Hit that sub button. So Marc Stein, who's covered the Mavs in the NBA for a very long time, now doing it via his own Substack, recently reported this. The Knicks have redoubled their efforts to find a new home for Reddish with essentially 3 weeks left to go until the deadline, sources tell the Stein line, with the Dallas Mavericks having joined the Milwaukee Bucks and the Lakers on the list of known potential trade partners. Reddish has been unable to win trust or regular minutes from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau since New York acquired him from Atlanta just over a year ago. Now, this year, he was out of the rotation, then he got into the rotation, actually played decent for a while. Now he's been out of the rotation again, and he's only played about half the games this year, 20 games in total. When he has played, 22 minutes per game, 8.4 points. Decent field goal percentage, hasn't shot the three well, but again, DNP 21 times. And, Cam Reddish, his skill set should be of an upper echelon 3-and-D player, but I think there's probably been some effort concerns. He's been with 2 franchises, 3 different head coaches, and has never found regular minutes. I think at some point we have to point the finger at Cam Reddish, the player, and not at these different teams and coaches because, people out there are like, why does Cam Reddish not play well? Well, the common denominator in him getting inconsistent minutes is himself. So I like the upside. I just haven't seen enough consistency. Now, Marc Stein said this as well. If Reddish were to wind up in Dallas, it would be a full circle change of address for the 23-year-old who was selected number 10 overall by the Hawks in the 2019 NBA draft with the pick Dallas package to Atlanta as part of the Luka for Trae Young draft day swap in 2018. Sources say that the Knicks, though, are angling for Dallas to send Thibodeau favorite Reggie Bullock to New York in a Reddish deal, who is likewise held in high regard by the Mavericks. Now, I get why the Mavs like Reggie Bullock. He was a key piece last year. That is not translated to this year. Finney Smith, Green coming back from injuries, adding Reddish gives you depth, but does it move the needle? Could he be better than Bullock? I mean, he obviously could. Bullock has not been good this year, but he could also be worse and not even be in the rotation. So Bullock in a second for Reddish? I mean, I guess I'd probably do that. But again, when you kind of circle it back to Luka wanting roster upgrades, I don't think this is it. Now, if you do this plus a bigger move, okay, fine. I'm down with that. But I don't think Cam Reddish for Reggie Bullock is just turning this in from a 6-7 seed to a 2 seed. I don't see that to be the case. Reddish has talent. We've seen that talent at times, but I mean, he's been in the NBA 3-4 years now, and it's been inconsistent at best, to say the least. So would you do that trade? Would you trade for Cam Reddish? Type T for trade, type P for pass. I probably would do that trade, but again, it does not solve the problem, which is you don't have enough frontline talent. You don't have enough, B-level talent. You got Luka, who's an A+, just absolute elite talent. You got Christian Wood, who's like a B- talent, along with Spencer Dinwiddie, who's probably in that B-. And then you got a bunch of role players. You need more. You need more. You need a second star. I don't know if you can get one. Would you trade Christian Wood to get a second star? Depending on the star, I would. I got to know who that is, though. I don't think you're getting a Paul George or something like that. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks here at Mavericks Today, which is why you should subscribe. We will continue to cover the latest trade rumors around this basketball team. And, hey, Luka's turning up the heat. If things don't improve this year or next year, that's not good. You got to improve this roster in the near future if you are Dallas. All right, guys. I'm Harrison Graham signing off. Hopefully more positive days ahead.